Yeah. So once again, I'm recapping the yesterday session. So web UI technologies we are discussing here in this class. First topic of our course is HTML4, CSS3, JavaScript, HTML5, Jquery, CSS3, Jquery, Ajax, and responsive responsive design. Then ninth topic I'll go for Bootstrap. So Bootstrap, and 10th topic I'll go for less, and 11th it is Sass. So less and Sass. So these are all the topics I'm going to cover it in our course. And to cover this content sake, I'll take 45 to 50 hours of sessions. So first few days from until start JavaScript will go for Monday to Friday sessions. And once I start the JavaScript, that weekend onwards, every Saturday I'll go for project session. So daily 1 hour to 1.5 hour session generally I'll take. And the timing is once the batch is confirmed, I'll take the classes according to the students. All the students' convenient timing, I'll take the class. Here we are in web UI course. So first topic of our course is HTML. So HTML, what is the use of HTML? HTML is nothing but it's a hypertext markup language. It is a hypertext markup language. Under this, here it is a hypertext markup language. It is totally tag-based programming. It is a tag-based programming. And to cover this content sake, to learn this content sake, we no need to there is no prerequisite for this course. If you don't learn any C, C++, Java, any basic courses, if you don't learn also, not a problem. So first topic of our course is HTML. HTML is completely tag-based programming. What is a tag? Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. So some program I'm going to write here, that is tag-based programming. Instruction to browser is nothing but a tag. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. Here we can give all instruction to browser by using tags. In this tags, in this programming, so it's a tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to the browser. We can give the instruction to the hello, Dinesh, Satya Rajeshwari. Can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear now.
Yeah. Dinesh, can you hear my voice?
Yes.
Yeah. Amit, please you can rejoin. I think he
Okay.
is not able. Okay. Here, first topic of our course, I'm discussing here HTML. So under these tags are divided into two types. One is pair tag, and second one is unpaired tag. Example for this pair tag is we write the tag name like this. In between the tag start and close, we write the name like that. And example for the unpaired tag is we write the tag name like this and we'll close the tag here itself. This is the syntax for tag, pair tags and unpaired tags. And example for this pair tag and example for unpaired tag. Here, example for this pair tag is we write the body tag. Here we write the body tag start and close. This is pair tag. Then example for unpaired tag is image tag. Suppose image tag sake I'm writing src and here itself I'll close it. Src is nothing but it's an attribute of tag. So we usually write the tags like this. We can create our application using HTML. If I'm writing, suppose I'm writing here Gmail application or Kendriya Vidyalaya, this basic application login form. So we are creating some login form for some website. Okay, just once I inspect element here, once I inspect here, just right click here, inspect element. Inside this, this is the head section. HTML page always starts with the doc type. HTML is a pair tag, head is a pair tag, body is a pair tag. HTML tag we start like this. These all are the tags. In between less than and greater than, whatever we write, that is the tag. So we write the program basically using HTML. If you want to design any web page for your application, we have to start with HTML. HTML mainly create our application. So it creates structure for structure for web application. So structure for web application, we can create it by HTML. So now here using HTML, we can create here doc type HTML. Under this HTML, we are writing here HTML root tag. So we write the start tag of HTML and end tag of HTML like this. And we can create the head section, header part of our page, we write like this. Next body of this HTML tag, we write like this. Body tag and head tag, we write like this. So this is the way basically any HTML application structure, we usually write it like this. Here inside the head section only we are going to write, inside the start and close of HTML only we are going to write CSS code. So CSS code we write here, Jquery code we write here, JavaScript code we write here, Ajax code we write here, Ajax code also we write here, and lessons as code and responsive code, responsive design code, like that. Bootstrap code, all will write it in head section. What is the use with the body? How you want to design your HTML application? How you want to design it? Menu bar, side menus, main menu, center content, right side content. For all those things, what all the tags are you are using here in your HTML application, that whole thing we use it inside the body. So body tag is inside the body section. We usually use the head section. Sorry, inside the body tag we usually use how you want to design your application, that will write it inside the body. Here inside the head, we generally write the CSS code, JavaScript code, like this we can write it inside the head section. So if I remove the head section for my application, if I remove this head section for my application, you can see that application will look like this. If you remove the body of your application, see, if you remove the header, there is no alignment. If you remove your body, there is no content inside your HTML. By this, we can understand head is giving our total entire content of the web page, and head is giving the alignment of the web page. This way we can create our application. Okay. As of now, is it clear? Today only 3 people came for the class. Amit, can you hear my voice?
Yes, I can hear.
Yeah. Amit, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Here we can create our application like this. Basically HTML is used for creating the structure for web application. Here next, first topic is HTML. So this HTML is creating the structure for web application, website, structure for website. Second topic is CSS. CSS is nothing but cascading style sheets. Style sheet. This will give you makeup part of the website. Makeup part. What is the makeup part of website? Makeup part of the website means how you are designing your application, how you are aligning your application. That comes under makeup part of the website. Makeup part means how you are designing your application. Means how you aligning your content at left side and right side, center content. That content we write it by HTML. Alignment we usually write it. Alignment of the content we can do it by CSS. And background colors, border with radius, all alignment. alignment of the web page, we can do it by CSS. Next, third topic of our course is HTML, CSS, JavaScript. So JavaScript is mainly used for functionality of the website. Functionality of web page we can create it by JavaScript. I don't believe it. So JavaScript, is it creating any functionality for web page or not? Let's see here. When you refresh here, you can see that Kendriya Vidyalaya website. So in this, if you submit your application form without entering any values, if you submit it, you can do the validation for your application. See, we are discussing here web UI, means only front end. So in this front end, how you want to design your application, that comes under front end. If I submit my application, my request will reach to server page. But without any data, if you are submitting your request, means your request will not be submitted to server page. Your request has to be validated by browser only. Browser, by using browser functionality, that is nothing but using JavaScript, we can do validation. So we are implementing web page validations by JavaScript. Then fourth topic of our course is Jquery. So what is the use with the Jquery? Jquery is nothing but it's a JavaScript library. It's a lib of JavaScript. External file of JavaScript. External file. We'll download that external file into our program. So by that we can easily implement we no need to write any code from the beginning. We'll directly implement the code using Jquery. So by that we can directly implement our application. Suppose if you want to implement your validation for your application form, so in that time, generally we have to write the code from beginning. We have to write validations, regular expressions, something we write it. So by that we do validation. But if you use here Jquery validation, see here, we no need to write any code for this. Normally it will show you that validation. How it will be possible? How it will be possible? See here, because of jquery.validate.js. This file we have to download it from Google. If you add this file for your program, so automatically it will do validation. So for what sake you want to implement validation and what is the purpose of that input tag, we have to mention. That's it. We no need to write the separate code if the field is empty or not. If it is email ID, is it in email ID format or not? The password field, is it in the password field format or not? That we cannot check it. Okay. So this way we write the validations. So jQuery validation we can implement like that. Next one, how we are implementing our application using fifth one is Ajax. What is the use of Ajax? Ajax is nothing but it's asynchronous JavaScript and XML. It is a combination of JavaScript and XML. So main purpose of this Ajax is without submitting our entire page to server, we can get the response from the server. See, I'm interacting, my client page is interacting with the server page. Means here my request is submitted to server. Server is giving the response to client. Means client is nothing but your browser. Browser is requesting for server. Here client server has to give the response for our application. So for this client server architecture sake, we have to write browser to server, server to client. We have to send the response and the request. So here I'm writing here request and here only I have to write response. Request and responses we have to send between the client and the server. Okay. So for this, how to implement it? Let's see. So here I'll show you with one real-time application form, that is email page. Here I want to interact with my Gmail. See, it is taking, if I enter Gmail username and password, it is taking some time to load my page. This is asynchronous. Synchronous process means we have to get the response. Suppose here I want to chat with some person. So when I want to chat with any person, so I have to interact with that person. So whenever I want to interact with that person, so I have to send the request to that particular person. So I have to say hi, something, hello, something I have to write here. So by that only I can write here. I want to write some person. I want to interact with some person here. So if I say hi to that person, so by that here you can see that response. Here just it is taking few seconds of time to reach this particular message to server. I'm writing here hi, hello, sending, and now. So this type of response will get it when we write our request. When we write our request to server, and server will give the response. In between that time, so it is not submitting my entire chat window to server. Just only part of request is submitting to server, and we are getting the response. This type of program we can create it by JavaScript. Sorry, Ajax call. Using Ajax call, see, if I want to submit my request, if I want to check my inbox, it is taking some gap of time to send our request and to get the response. Here I'm writing here important. So when I write here important, when I click here, so it is important mails. What all the important mails I have, that all I can see here. When I click on something, it is taking some time and it is changing that URL and it is giving response. This is synchronous process. Asynchronous process means we no need to wait for the server response. It won't submit my entire page to server. Just whatever the request I am saying here, that request will reach to server and will sending now. It is not taking much time. Is it clear what is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous?
Yes.
So here we are not submitting our entire page to server. So here meanwhile I'm chatting with some person. Meanwhile I can check my inbox mail. I can check my sent mail. I can send any mail to another person. Like that, all different actions I can do it when I request my request is reaching to server. Server has to give the response to client. This type of two-way interaction we can create it. This request and responses we can do it by client server architecture. So we no need to wait for the server response. We can send any number of requests to server. So whenever the server is free, it automatically it will give the response simultaneously. Here we no need to submit our entire page to server. Just we can send part of request to server. Will get the response once the server free. So only part of request. Suppose I'm chatting with some person means I can get the response simultaneously. Here I'm chatting with server means the server has to give the response. So means this request has to reach to server to that particular another person has to get my chatting content. So for that we write here request and responses sake we write Ajax code. Ajax code time, we no need to wait for the server response. We can send any number of requests to server. Server will give you response once it get free. Okay. Next, sixth topic will go for responsive design. What is the use with the responsive design? Responsive design means in all devices how to show your output. All devices should show same output. So we have to show the same type of output in all devices. How to show all devices sake, we have to show the same type of output. That we will see here. Here I'll show you one of the example here. See, I'll show you one Ajax example here, and after that I'll show you that one. Ajax example executed with server. Why? Because I'm interacting with server. So my server I'm taking here PHP server. Inside this I want to execute my Ajax code. Here under that JavaScript, through JavaScript we can write Ajax. Through Jquery also we can write Ajax call. Here Ajax. Here I want to load my text file into this. So for that I have to start my localhost server and I have to run my application through localhost only. Why? Because Ajax is nothing but a request and responses interaction with client and the server. So for client and server sake, I have to interact in the client server architecture. So that's why I'm executing my application in the XAMPP server. XAMPP is a localhost server. It's a localhost, my localhost server, and it is from PHP. It is a PHP server. See, I want to load using $.load method. I want to load one text file. Here MySQL connection, it's giving error. Why? Because I didn't started MySQL. I start MySQL here. So once again load. Here it is not submitting my entire page, but I can able to see my employee table. When I write here $.ajax, I can see that country table. See, it is giving the server response without submitting my entire page to server, not even changing the URL. It's giving different outputs. Here $.setup method is also printing this same method. And $.post method, it's printing post method 1, 2, 3, 4. This is from a text file. $.get method is giving welcome to Scott. This is one text file I'm loading here in this div tag, and post request is giving like this. And here it is JSON data. I can print that JSON data in the console. So every time we are getting different type of output here. The different output is coming from. Yes, Rajesh, what is your doubt? You raised your hand. Yes, Rajesh. Yes. Yes, what is your doubt? Clearly talk and tell. See, am I going fast? Oh, okay. So till now what I have explained, all are already explained in the. Oh, okay. So Rajesh, you attended yesterday, right? No. Oh. With the same name, some other student is joined. That's why I thought like you are old student. Okay. So here first I'm discussing here. Just I'll recap the session what I have covered till now. Just 2 minutes. Here what I'm discussing here. I'm going to discuss HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, Bootstrap, responsive design, and Bootstrap, and last I'll explain about lessons as. At the end, I'll go for lessons as. So these are all the topics I'm going to cover it in our course. So to cover this entire course sake, I'll take 40 to 45 hours of sessions. So in first beginning days, I'll go for Monday to Friday session. Once I start the JavaScript topic, that weekend onwards, we'll go every Saturday on the project session. We'll spend 2 hour session or 1.5 hour session on the project. And HTML. So we are discussing web UI codes here. HTML mainly create the structure for application. CSS will create the makeup part, means background, foreground color, font colors. We can create it by CSS. JavaScript is mainly used for creating functionality. Functionality means clicking is one event, submit is one event, mouse over is one event. Like that, all event related actions will write it, action related programming, we write it in JavaScript. Jquery is nothing but it's an external file of JavaScript. We'll add that library to our program. So by that we can implement that program implementation very easily. I explained just to go through with my yesterday session and today you joined 15 minutes late, Rajesh, and you just go through my previous 15 minutes of session, you can easily capture it. And up to this jQuery I explained yesterday. That's why I went fast. And here Ajax onwards I am explaining today. Here Ajax is nothing but it's asynchronous JavaScript and XML. Here we don't submit our entire request to server page. We'll send only part of request to server and we'll get the response. This type of structure we can create it between the client and server, that is by Ajax code. Next one is responsive design. Responsive design means how I am creating my application. See here in this Ajax page, we are doing the same. Here, without submitting our entire page to server, here just we'll get the response of that particular page by this. Here when I write Ajax load method, it's loading employee table in two different. When I write here $.ajax, see it's loading country table. This country table and employee table is coming from MySQL. So here in this application, Ajax application is connecting with PHP. From the PHP, I'm showing output. As of now, I'm not explaining any coding related things. Just I'm explaining a topic related output. So each topic and topic related output I'm showing here. After that, I'll show you each and every topic related course content. Okay. Yesterday and today and tomorrow will be the demo sessions. And Monday onwards we'll continue our sessions. We'll start our regular sessions. So once I get the confirmed students mail IDs, registered students mail IDs, then I'll start sending the documents to you. Documents means whatever the program I am explaining in the classroom, and the paint file, what I am drawing and what I am explaining here in this paint file, and each topic related document. So I have some document, each and every topic related document. That document I'll send to you. This way my class will go. Okay, Rajesh, are you able to follow now? Yes, thank you, Rajesh. Yeah. So here I want to see XML request. So I have some XML file. That XML file I want to load it into HTML page. So when I click it, I can able to display it. So how to display that XML file, I'll explain here. So here is my local host :80. 80 is the port number and it is a local host file. Just click it. See here, object XML. You can see actually this is XML data. I can able to print that XML data without changing the URL. I'm connecting with PHP page. In the PHP page, I'm reading XML file. That XML data I'm printing here in a HTML page. See, this click request is going to PHP. PHP is connecting with XML, reading the XML data. That XML data we are displaying it by Ajax. This whole stuff we can do it by Ajax. This is entire thing comes under Ajax. Next, if I implement my program using responsive code, responsive design, how I'll get the output? Let's see here. If I write my program by responsive design, here for 9 p.m. sake, I explained Ajax call, responsive design, here column, here. So 3 column layout it is showing here. When I use my application like this, it's showing 3 column layout. But when I write my application here, when I change my URL here, see here, how the alignment is changing. See, if I check my website in mobile, it will show like this. If I check my website in desktop, it will show like this. See here, 3 column layout is converting in, see, 1 column layout is converting into 3 column, 4 column layout. This is possible by responsive code. How you are designing your application. Same way, if you check here, Kendriya Vidyalaya, it may not show. It may be that level of standard. So here I'm writing here Facebook. So facebook.com, if you check it in desktop, it will show you a big screen, an image, and all will be 3 column layout or 2 column layout. But when you check that same website in mobile, width will be changed. So once the width will change, that column layout also will change. That column layout will column layout will convert into row layout. See here, I'm changing this one. See here. So once I change it, you can see the entire page. But once I check here, you can check that column layout is converting into row layout actually. So once I refresh it, see here, it's not showing the entire thing, showing only login. When I want to create my account, it will ask me about the create application form. But if I check it in a very big screen, it's showing like this. In smaller screen, it's showing like this. This type of structure we can create it by responsive design. Responsive design is nothing but in all layouts how you are designing your application. In all column layouts and row layouts, in all layouts how you are designing your application, that is comes under responsive code. Next here, this is one more example. If it is mobile, I'll show output will be like this. And if it is desktop, it will be like that. If it is tab, it will be like this. See, mobile, tab, desktop. No color. So this way we can write the separate code depends on your screen size. That will learn it in responsive design. In responsive design time, we'll see that type of output. Okay. Next topic of our course is Bootstrap. So what is the purpose of Bootstrap? Bootstrap time, again, we no need to write any code from beginning. Directly we have Bootstrap classes, grid layout, column layout, background, foreground, spinners, all we directly have it. So directly we use those containers for our program. Here, here grid layout. How it will be grid layout? How can we change the grids? See here, you can see here that output will be like this. See here, column, column, column. So first line is column layout. All column layouts it is showing like this. And second, it is showing 3 column layout. Here it is 4 column layout. Even if my size is 500 pixels, 800 pixels and 1200 pixels, all time first row it is showing 4 column layout. But observe the second row here. This is 1 column, column 1, column 2, column 3. Here in the column 1, column 2, column 3, showing different type of output. See here, you can show that different type of output by columns. See here, I'm showing that output here. When I change my screen size, can you observe the second row? Call, call, call. If I check it in my mobile, it is converting into 3 rows. If I check this one into desktop, in tab, it's showing like this. In mobile, in desktop, it will show like this. This way, we can show different output according to screen size. We have to adjust the content that is possible by that conversion. It is possible by grid layouts. That is by Bootstrap. So using Bootstrap, we can create the font colors, font sizes, and spinners. All we can directly create it. We no need to write any code from beginning in the CSS. We can directly create the responsive site. We can directly create the grids, spinners, progress bars, menus, all we can create it by Bootstrap. Tables also we can create it. The rounded corner images also we can create it. All we can create it by this. Spinners, this type of spinners, this type of loading symbols and images, actually it is images. And here round corner. Okay, so this is Jumbotron. These all are different type of classes. By using those class names, we can apply the CSS. How to write the tables here? See, different type of tables. See, multicolored table and black dark color table. When you mouse over on it, changing its color. So like this, we can write different type of tables here, here under this. That is by Bootstrap. So using Bootstrap, we can implement all this. Next, what about the lessons as? Lessons as is nothing but it's a superset of CSS. Here it is a superset for CSS. So rather than writing CSS code from scratch, we can write a common code, commonly with the background color, whatever we use it commonly. Those things we can write it in the lessons. Okay, Rajesh, now are you able to follow my class? Am I going fast or normal? Okay. Okay. Amit, Dinesh, Satyas, Rajeshwari.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Any more doubts till now? Yesterday, you all 10 people are attended. Almost 9 to 10 people are attended for the class. Today, only 4 people attended the class. So, if you come to the class regularly, if you feel it is a demo session, means demo is also important. Don't wait for the regular session. Okay, so if you continue the sessions, I'll include one by one topic. I'll inject one by one topic in the classes. So in demos also I'll cover few things. Don't wait for the regular session. Okay, so come to the class
Okay.
regularly. Finally, you will learn. Definitely, you will learn the subject. Every day you will get task from my end.
Okay,
Yeah,
ma'am.
clarifications, everything you can get it by get it in the classroom only. If you practice it in the same day, definitely you will get the subject here, that UI subject. You can design your own website by this. One of my old batch students, they came up with a different type of outputs. This roser output and this AV drinks output. They come up with a different type of websites. We designed those. So we designed in front of them only. I designed it. I'll take this type of websites as the project sessions and we'll implement it with our own knowledge. Here, see here. When I click it, you can see that is blasting. So this type of website. See here, when you move down, your bubble is increasing its size. So this type of thing also we can create here. See, it is not going down and you can see that change. See, I'm continuously clicking, it is not moving. When I click it, you can blast it. Like this type of designing, we can do it. See, here I'm writing. We can do it without Angular also. It is UI, front end. Front end, actually in this front end sake, no, not required. Angular is not required. Bootstrap, you can use Bootstrap, you can use CSS, you can use CSS 4 level tags. See here. When you move up, using Jquery also we can implement it. See here. This is because of Z index under CSS. See this way. So when you want to move, see here. Again that box only it is moving up. This way we can create it. This type of websites also we can create it by our own. Okay. Come to class regularly. Don't miss any one session from our course. And tomorrow is the demo session. And I may not cover the same thing. I'll include the new things also. I'll continue this today's session in the tomorrow. You should have to come to class and regularly you have to attend the class. Then only you can get the subject. And you have to practice in the same day. Once I start executing the programs, you have to practice in the same day. That will be helpful for the next class. Okay. So by that you will continue our course. If you have any doubt, don't hesitate to ask your questions. Class should be interactive. Okay. Yes, please. I'm going to end the session now. Is it clear or do you want to ask any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, Rajesh. JavaScript, well, I'll show you that course content. Actually, you can get my course content from organizer. If you mail to them, they'll send you what all my course content, what I'm going to teach it in JavaScript, in Jquery, in Ajax, in all you can get it. Here, core and advanced JavaScript, you can see here. Introduction to JavaScript, that JavaScript output statements and all. Here, core JavaScript here, document object model, DOM, control statements, loops, and advanced JavaScript, it is DOM, navigator object, document object, and number, name, multimedia, Arrays, this keyword, event, cookies, and object-oriented programming. Here, closures, closure, object or class-based, object-oriented, prototype-based, and constructor function, destructors, and object literals, inheritance, polymorphism, and super keyword. That all comes under object-oriented programming. All the things I'm going to cover it in JavaScript. If you come up with your own doubt in the JavaScript topic, then that also I can explain to you. If you come with any new topic, that also I'll cover to you. Other than this, okay. Yeah, that's it for today. Come to class regularly. Tomorrow we'll continue the class, and the next after tomorrow's session, next session will be on the Monday. Okay, then. Thank you.